I went on to NFL Game Day morning, and one of my Christmas wishes was they need better schedules and slates.
No doubt.
And then I talked about how networks are scared to flex games. Teams only get a certain amount of primetime games, and then if those teams flex teams out, I think they're scared to piss off fan bases. I think they're scared to piss off teams. I think they're scared to kind of ruffle any feathers. So teams are scared, or networks don't flex as often as they could, as much as fans look ahead and go like, hey, let's get this one the hell out of here. Let's get this one the hell out of here. Then there's other contracts, obviously, that are there, like the 4 o'clock time slot for CBS and for Fox. Can you necessarily get one of those out to go up to prime time? It's like, no, I get it, but there has to be an availability of a game that's worth a crop at the end of the season, every single weekend. Has to be. Can't project injuries.
Sure.
Can't project these types of things. But there needs to be something each week that we can look forward to that is a good game. Because what has been happening has been the Christmas game and the Saturday game. Those are 4 playoff teams. Those are supposed to be great games.
Yeah, should.
Can't blame them for that. Okay, can't blame them for that. But last night happening.
Monday night before Christmas, too.
Yeah, last night happening, like this probably crop. Probably crop.
I think it was the worst. Yeah, always was going to be crop.
Yeah, now granted, you could have seen this from a mile away whenever Caleb's season isn't going how we all thought Caleb's season was going to go. Now, granted, they wanted to showcase the number 1 overall pick there. Seahawks, obviously, NFC West, going to be in it. They're a team that doesn't get talked about a lot. You go back to years past. A couple years ago, they had number 1 offense in the NFL. Nobody was really talking about them. They're always seemingly in it. They kick Pete Carroll out of the door. They're still in it. So, I could see how projection, schedule-wise, could be a good game. Yeah. But then early on, you see that it's not going to be. And then the Chicago Bears have now lost 10 straight games.
Yep.
Jeez.
And we were forced to watch them in primetime. 10 straight games. We could see this coming. We could actually see this entire crop bowl game coming up for a few months now. We've been able to see that this was coming, and it still took place. Now, Bears could have won that game, which is why football is great. Football will always be worthy of a watch. Whenever football's at its worst, it's better than watching most things. Now, professional wrestling can catch it.
Sure.
Professional wrestling at its finest is better than any live sport that could take place. But football, whenever it's humming, is so awesome to watch, and I think that's why we all tune in. These numbers are gigantic that the NFL is getting. These ratings, obviously 24.1, 24.3 million allegedly on Netflix. Now, those are self-reported numbers from Netflix because they're a streaming platform. I believe Nielsen said that that's what it was, but I don't know how Nielsen would have to hack into Netflix.
That's not their game.
I don't know how that entire thing works.
They have an alleged agreement.
Of course they do, yeah. All the numbers make sense. Nonetheless, 24 million for those two, up to 65 million total viewers. Absolute smashing success is how all parties would view that game. Then I think there was reports coming out that these have been the highest ratings since 2016 for all these things, and we all remember what happened after 2016. 2016 was the national anthem, and then the kneeling, and then I remember during that time there was a lot of people in big media that were like, "It's not the national anthem that's causing the ratings to drop," and it's like. Out here in middle America there were signs hanging off of people's houses, that were saying, don't watch the NFL. Now, granted, I think some good conversations came out of that entire thing. I think there was obviously good that came from that entire situation, but the ratings definitely took a hit for a long time. And then they get all the way back, and then the game is crap. It's like, at some point, you would hope that they'll be able to match up. Everybody loves football openly and proudly, and the games kind of get to a point that are must-watch. I think that's on the horizon. Oh, yeah. I think that's what we have going forward because we have way too many great players. Way too many great players. I saw the stat this morning from Hembo, about Lamar Jackson. You know what he's doing right now?
What's that?
Historic stuff. He has the second highest quarterback passer rating in the season since they've been documenting the QBR. That is thus far obviously has a game remaining. Number 1 and 3 are both Aaron Rodgers, and obviously you see the rush yards underneath. These are from the incomparable Hembo. Lamar's rushed for 852 yards on top of having a 121.6 quarterback rating, passer rating. Aaron Rodgers obviously 1 for 257. He could move. He could move.
Scoot.
Aaron goes for 149, and then Peyton goes for 38 yards accidentally. We don't even know how that happened. We don't even know. So whenever you think about what Lamar Jackson is doing right now, just Lamar in Baltimore, and then you think he's not even a favorite to win the MVP, and then you think these two are going to run into each other. Then you got Patrick Mahomes still existing. Once we get a lot of the league out, which is why I think the playoffs are going to. I think the playoffs are going to be great because it's both NFC and AFC seemingly top-loaded, and then once we get all of them out, we got battles coming, and I think that's why law of averages since 1870 tells us A lot of the crop we've been watching is about to be a thing of the past, and the NFL is going to ride into the offseason and say, we had a great season, because what have you done for me lately? If this season was to end how it's going right now, all offseason people are going to say, is the NFL going to lose its ratings? Is the NFL going to be able to withstand everything that has happened through viewership and everything? I think the NFL is going to end great, but boy, we've had to go through some tough times. Hard times, brother. Shout out to the American dream to get here.
Well, and I think, like, in the end, when you look at the playoffs, we're going to get a lot of the matchups that we wanted initially. Like, if you would have been projecting at the start of the season, the potential for, like, Bills, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, all that kind of stuff. And then on the NFC side, there's a bunch of good stuff. But I think what I've noticed most about this year with all the shite games is it just underscores how important, like, the big market teams have to be good. Because this year, you have Jets, Giants, Cowboys, Bears, they all stink. And they're all
Niners.
Niners, like, all these big market teams, when they stink, because they should be able to flex games earlier, but where it's at right now, I don't think that's going to change. I don't think they're going to say, hey, you can start flexing games in week 7 or week 6, because like you said, like, for a lot of these games, we've been able to tell for 2 months. Like, we've been able to circle them and be like, that game's going to suck, and we're just going to have to eat it, because when it comes, hey, watching football is better than not watching football.
Hey, Connor, let's remember, though, there's going to come a time where there's a lot of not watching football.
Bingo. Yeah, no doubt about that.
I was telling myself that last night 30 different times.
And you try to, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't help you last night.
I'm laying there. Okay, wife passed out. Sam passed out. Just like, I can't do this one with you, she said.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Smart.
Rolled. I can't do this one with you. Rolled over.
I get it.
She tapped out. TKO. Football game over. Samantha McAfee, completely understand. I'm laying there watching this thing just like it's a football game. It's an NFL football game. This matters. Commercial break. Ooh, should I venture somewhere else? Look around. I don't like anything else.
Yeah.
Go back to the NFL game, I guess. Got to get better. Gets worse.
Oh, yeah.
Caleb Williams scored a touchdown last night. Sick.
He did.
Rolling to his left.
Odunze, rookie to rookie.
Oh, my. Nobody's talking about Odunze, by the way. Top 10 wide receiver. Nobody's really talking about his year just because everything kind of goes in Caleb, which is good for Odunze, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's good that Odunze doesn't have to deal with it. But this this is the Caleb shit from college that we've been talking about. Is it going to work in the NFL? Well, when it does work, it doesn't because somebody was holding. Yeah. So
We'll take
this highlight came out of the game.
Yeah, also, though, like, in the offseason, when we are thinking, like, football, there will be an asterisk. Like, yeah, I wish there was a football game on except for Seattle, Chicago.
Yeah, we need to remember that.
Like, that will be one that we remember as one of the shite ones because it was primetime. Like, there's a few games like this at 1 o'clock, or maybe even one sneaks into 4 o'clock. But when it's primetime, when it's Amazon Prime, when it's on Bezos' network, that we all know.
Town.
And we're in playoff time, like
the biggest game time. Yeah, exactly. And it's coming off of Christmas, where we all were kind of like, why isn't there a night game? Okay, fine, we get one the next night. Maybe this will deliver. I think the over-under was like damn near 50. It's like 6-3 in the rain. I guess.
Is this soccer?
What are we doing?
Gumpy,
here?
you love that game last night? I assume that was good for the world audience last night.
No, that game was absolute shite. I was mad at myself for staying up and watching that all night.
I didn't make it.
I believe the Mariners beat the White Sox or the Cubs 6-3 twice this year. So that's the third time that Seattle's beat the Chicago 6-3 this year.
Oh, so it was already written.
It's a baseball game. We watch a baseball game, is what Diggs is trying to tell you.
And a soccer game.
Yeah. I mean, a 6-3 soccer game.
Like
Hold the phone.
That'd be awesome.
I'm watching that.
Yeah. 6 shots versus 3 shots, actually. Now, granted, there's Jason Myers knocking one through. Cairo Santos, can he answer? Yes, almost hits the bullseye. Let's go through the net. It is 3-3. Jason Myers!
Ball game.
Boom. How much time's left?
Second quarter.
Okay.
Second quarter, 6-3.
Can't have it.
Nobody was even close to scoring either. Like, nobody was driving. Nobody was doing shite.
And Caleb got into fringe field goal range.
Yep.
To tie that thing.
If that thing went to overtime, I would have broke my TV. Let me go to bed. Thank God that it.
You're saying it was holding you hostage.
It was holding me hostage.
It had you like this right here.
If Caleb did all his cool stuff and they got another field goal and it was 6-6, and I had to watch 10 minutes of overtime, which inevitably would end in triple zeros and no more points, and it was 6-6 tie, yeah, I would have been pretty pissed. I'd probably just be at Best Buy later tonight buying a TV.
Oh, because we stormed through that one.